What up, world? It's your boy Big Willie, aka the Pac Mac. I hope you're having a great day today. As always, I am blessed and happy to see you. Oh my goodness. So today's Deck Tech Friday is called, well, how many ops is too many options? I'm gonna up in the pass on his body like John Stockton. Know what I'm saying? Anyways, the whole deal, it's another commander deck. And the commander is Riku of Many Paths. His whole deal is whenever you cast a modal spell, choose up to X, where X is the number of times you choose a mode for that spell. Exile the top card of your library. Until the end of the next turn, you may play it. Put a +1/+1 counter on Riku of Many Paths. It gains trample until end of turn. And create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. Okay, so the whole deal is we are playing modal spells, and we play a lot of them. I want to say it's around 30 something of them. Of course, we got Fiery Inscription, which is just an enchantment that's pretty much what's the goblin? The goblin that does 2 damage whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. So we was just trying to get some incremental damage in addition. You know, we've got Gandalf the Grey, who pretty much basically whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, he's like a modal thing himself. So whenever he's out and I cast an instant or sorcery, it is a spell slinger deck, y'all. It is a spell slinger deck. He's got a bunch of abilities that pops off. Um, Mythos of Luna could copy Ogier Patapeak. O'Hare Pak Patik, Deepest Epoch. Best thing about him is he lets all my instants and sorceries get double the pleasure, double the fun by giving them all rebound. So that way you can go ahead and do it again. Do it again. Of course, we are playing all the little choose one. We're playing a lot of choose one or both. The one thing we aren't playing in here that I wish we were is a cryptic command, because I unfortunately no longer have a cryptic command. I need to get another one. And, I love Cryptic Command. That's the OG of OGs, if you know what I mean. All right, but we got Sahili's Artistry, which it's great because, 90% of the time we're choosing both. Anytime we're choosing one or more, we're choosing both. We got all the wills in color: Sakashima's will, Kamal's will, and Jessica's will. Of course, Jessica's will is obvious. The other two, pretty great on their own. C double. I really, really like this card. This card is pretty bananas depending on what's happening. And if certain things happen, you get both. And it's just like, ooh, we can do dumb things. We like doing dumb things. Storm Starman. Second spell, we get to copy it. That's probably going to be replaced because I just got another, what's that storm card that gives everything pretty much. I can't think of it. It's a blue-red enchantment that, is like the obvious, like, hey, look, we're going to play this, and then, all your spells, like, get storm for each one that you played before it on the turn. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of it on the top of my head. And then I'm going to think of it, something storm. Oh, my goodness. It's in Ravnica. It's in one of the Ravnicas. Creatures we got. Some of the creatures we got in here: Bonehead Druxor. Actually, this is all draw, apparently. I don't know how. I'm still learning how to use Architect and how they got everything separated. I might have to sit there and do this all myself, because where I wanted to do was separate all the spells that let me choose one or more into one pile, and lands into a pile, everything else in the piles, so on and so forth. Drowning Dreams. Drowning Dreams has actually won me a couple games in some other decks of mine, and I've grown to like this card a lot more, especially since it's an instant. We kind of play reactive with this deck because we're in blue. Let somebody else be the problem. We'll deal with it if we got to deal with it. Or we'll get to points where we play either Atali, because we can play both Atalis in this deck, and they both work and they both do the thing. Inscription of Insight. good little, hey, look, I get one, or if I kick it, yo, let's get all the value. And then Riku gets all the value, of course. Metamorphic Blast. I did play, this was kind of my Thunder Junction deck because I got one of these Rikus. I actually got him as a pre-release promo, and I was just like, you know what? Hey, I like this idea. Let's build it. Let's build it. And I built it, and I wanted to play like a lot of the spree cards and show off some of the new stuff because I feel like that's should be a thing to do. I don't have all of the good stuff yet, but I just haven't been. It's like I built the deck, and the deck works for what it does. This is all based off of stuff that I actually personally own. Same thing with the last deck. Same thing with pretty much every other deck that I'm gonna post because it's all based off of stuff I own, and I just like you see where my mind is with the vastness of my collection, and it's not really like my collection. It's vast. It's just that I don't know. I hustle differently than most people. Just saying, nothing, no offense to nobody, because the truth, that's just how I roll. We got Thassa's Intervention. We got Trash of Town, another one of those new Thunder Junction little spree cards, because I think the spree mechanic is really cool, and I hope we get to see it again. So let me go ahead and just say that now. Slick Shot Show Off, of course, like this guy is bananas. Like, we're playing Spell Slingers. Why wouldn't we play this card? We got Heroic Intervention. We all know what that does. It's fail safe. Return the Favor. This is a really, really good uncommon from Thunder Junction. As soon as I saw this card spoiled, I was like, oh my goodness, I need a ton. That's why it's $3. It's a great card. This thing is literally like what's the one, all the redirect spells, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, hey, it redirects spells, it redirects sorceries, instants, activated or triggered abilities. And then, it copies them. Or you can change the target of a spell or ability. Like, like it does both. And for 4 mana, you can do both. You can do both. You can do both. Yeah. Yeah. We got Mana Form Hellkite, which like makes dudes. It's Spell Slinger Dragon. Like, like, let's get it correct. Urza's Command, which does a lot of things, not too bad. Tooth and Nail. Tooth and Nail is just OG pet card. I think this card is great. I think anyone who plays this card is up to no good, even me. And it's just a great card. Plus, it's a modal card because you get to do both. And if you do both, then Riku says, "Hey, let's get some bonuses on top of that. Let's go, let's go." We got Primal Command, which modal card does all sorts of stuff. It's great. Great. Okay, and then we got, let's see, we got a bunch of mana rocks in here. We got Arcane Signet, we got Chromatic Lantern, we got Felwar Stone, we've got, I want to say, two Talismans, a Soul Ring, and a Thought Vessel. We got Titania's Command, which can ramp us and do all sorts of stuff. We've got Storm Killing Artist, who is the linchpin of the deck. That's pretty much like, I think in some cases to a lot of cases, it's the best we're gonna get for a dockside replacement, and I think he's been great. He's always been great. If you play Spell Slingers and you're in red, why are you not playing this card? Got a lot of like spell reducers such as Rowan. 90% of the time we're playing this as Rowan instead of playing this as Will, but we can play it as Will if we need to. Return from the Wilds. I had a hard time personally finding this card because I seen it. I played it on Arena and I was like, man, there's this card from like the new Eldraine set that lets you choose two, and it lets you get a basic, and it creates a dude or it creates a food, and I'm like, yo, I need that in this deck. This will ramp me and make a dude, but then it'll also hopefully with Riku make another dude and maybe pump him or exile a top card of my library and give me another chance to play something else. And it's just like, yo, this card is Banana Land at a common. It's good. It's good. especially for this deck. It's not like, I mean, I'd rather play Cultivate over in most other decks. Well, in pretty much any other deck, but this is way better for the theme and the scheme. How many ops is too many options. Rao, we got really, really lucky and got a really good trade for a full art Rao that sits in this deck because it's like, hey, look, we're trying to do things. We're a spell slinger. It's no secret. Nissa who shakes them girls. And just recently, I got one of the Japanese for the Spark ones. The hot anime art. Like, yes, yes. Mm. Um, Mocking Sprite. It's a budget card, and it still reduces my instants and sorcerers by one, so it's great. Kellen, I like this Kellen a lot, and I can't wait to. I am surprised. Actually, no, hold on. Let me think about this because, like, I was like, after Thunder Junction, Kellen's like the main character. He's the main character, and he wasn't in Bloomborough, and he's not in Dustmore. What's going on? Like, it kind of threw me off that Kellen wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's happening. I haven't read the story in a long time, so like we can just go ahead and get that out the way. The news has been too crazy for me to even read this story. We already talked about Jessica's Will earlier. Great card, does all the things. There's a reason why it's $20-something. But it's been being reprinted a lot, so it's not like you can't sit there and not get one. So let's get that out the way. Goblin Electromancer. You know him, you love him. Very good. Is it just great card? Dance of the Tumbleweeds. Another one of those new sprees that does a lot of things. I like this card a lot. I play a pretty interesting. I've played a pretty interesting doppelgang deck that I saw in another place that I was just like, I like the idea of that deck. Complex math is a thing. And in before, yes, I did get a copy of the new Zimone, and we are going to try to live the prime number dream. So yeah, math is. I love math, love math, love math. We got Chandra Torch of Defiance. She's self-explanatory. Bard class, which is just like if you're in red green and you're playing commander and your commander is one of those commanders, like I don't see why you're not playing this. I mean, that card is like all you got to do is just get it to level 2, and then like your commander tax is a lot lessened. Um, Boja decks already know what I'm talking about. Balin the Haymakers know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in red green X is like, oh, why are you not playing this card? Especially if your commander's oppressive. Whenever I do decide to build um, Winter, yeah, the new Winter, the 3-color Winter, it's also in red and green. Yeah, I got some ideas there. A bar class is going in that because as soon as you have her out or him, I don't know. I don't know. I hope I didn't misgender. But as soon as you have Winter out, it's like, ugh, we need to do something about it. Unless it's giving you enough value at the moment. But if I fill my yard, ooh, Beantown Bullies would go good in that deck. Ooh, we got some shenanigans brewing. You see, I'm already like talking about this deck. Got me wanting to brew another deck. So let's put a pin on that. We're gonna bring that around. A Tarkus Command, another choose 2 or more. We got Archmage Snoop, good recursion guy. Also, Thunder Junction. Remember that I built this deck right after Thunder Junction pre-release and stuff. I know we got more stuff in here because I know there's the good card, the real good card, the one card that I would say like is like the card. You'll know it when you see it. We got some duels, we got some shock lands, dual lands. We got like a lot of the good like Dream Root Cascade, 3 or more. We got Field of Ruin because I honestly think if you're not playing some type of like, hey, let's snipe a land, you deserve to get got. Just saying, like you should be wanting to snipe Cradles and all these lands to add 2 more mana. I'm not a fan of mass land destruction, but hey, sniping a land or two, I get it. It's the correct move. It's the correct thing to do. We got a Tryon, we got a Mystic Rainforest. Of course, we got Otawara. One thing I didn't put in here, which the only reason why I didn't put him in here is because they're in my modern deck, is a Boseiju. Boseiju is great, and I love that card, and I should put one in here. And we may end up doing that depending on how I feel about the modern scene. We'll talk about that another day. One of the cards, new cards that I really, really like, Pit of Offerings. Pit of Offerings, when it enters the battlefield, exile up to 3 target cards from graveyards. You tap and add a colorless, or tap and add 1 mana of the color of any color of the exiled cards. And the thing about that is it snipes graveyards, and it snipes multiple graveyards. Some people, I think if you're not running any type of graveyard interaction in Commander, I don't know what you're doing, because a lot of people's stuff can do stuff in people's graveyards. For instance, with that new winter card, it's graveyard centric. You play graveyard hate against me, it kind of just says, hey, I'm just saying, you gotta plan for all the situations. Trying to help. Not trying to preach. Reliquary Tower, I'm a big fan of Reliquary Tower. I don't care what people say. So, we got a lot of the Restlesses, the, Stomping Ground, got a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, all that stuff. It's good. It's good. All right, and then we got, I guess that's the section, the removal section, which we're going to get to one of my favorite cards of the bunch. Blasphemous Act, good wrath, decent, really almost always a 1 mana wrath. Caught in a Crossfire, I like this little wrath because it deals 2 damage to everything of a certain type, and it's just like, hey, look, and it's also an instant. It's also an instant, but it only deals 2 damage. Collective Resistance, really good little choice card with Escalate that was printed in Modern Horizons 3. I like this card a lot because I can sit there and be like, hey, let me protect Riku. Also, blow up that enchantment real quick. Blow up that artifact real quick. You know what I'm saying? Great card. Great card. Decisive Denial, good counter spell. That also is a choice. That also is a removal spell. So, let's get it. Explosive Derailment. Once again, spree cards. Just built this after Thunder Junction. Was trying to do something with what I had. Fiery Confluence. Great, great modal card. Very, very different options. How many options? Too many options. Flame of Lenore. Once again, options, and I believe, Riku is a wizard. So guess what? You're a wizard, Harry. Let's get all the value and pick 2 things every time, as long as I got Riku out, which will end up being 4 things. Options, options, options. We got a Hullbreaker Horror in there because we're casting spells. We're reactive. Why wouldn't we not play a Hullbreaker Horror? Let's be real. Let's be real. Inscription of Abundance, very decent card. Insidious Will. I do like that card because you can copy it instant or sorcery. You can also redirect a spell, or you can counter a spell. Options. Is it charm? It's a charm. Jailbreak Scheme, another one of those, another spree card. This is usually the game winner. One of the game winners, you got Kamal's Will, which one or more. We already said we got the Kamal's Will. We got all the wills in the colors. Kagla and Yadaro, very slept on card. 90% of the time when I have Kagla and Yadaro, I'm using it to remove an artifact or enchantment and shuffle it back up and draw a card. And it's just it's reusable. You can reuse it. It does cost a lot to do, but you can reuse it. It also draws you a card, and you get rid of an artifact or enchantment. And then when you really need to play it, it's a 7/7 for 6. It's decent. It's not I'm not saying it's the best, but it's decent, and it's got values. It's got options. Mishra's Command. We got Mystic Confluence, which is another good counter spell, another good hey, I'm gonna choose 3 things, which Riku says, hey, you get 3 extra things for choosing 3 things. So, um, Phantom Interference, decent little cheap counter spell, makes a dude. Pick your poison. Love, love, love this card. Um, love this card. I've killed a Traxa with that card. Like, kid you not. I killed so many good flyers with that card by just saying, hey, all y'all sack a flyer real quick. How many flyers you got? One? Great card. Great card. I think it's underrated. I think it's highly good. Prismarian Command, do dance. Purpose Intervention, Pyroblast, which is a modal card. Because you gotta choose between the two, and it's always gonna be like one of the two, and it's like, ha ha, let's go, get a vote. Yeah, I'm all about modal spells in this deck, as you already see. Quandrous Command and the real, like, my favorite card of the deck is Sublime Epiphany. Like, that card, I cannot stress how many times I've caught people lacking with that card, and it just was like, guess what? We're gonna do like 4 or 5 things, and then guess what? We're gonna do 3 more things on top of that. It's like, dang, you just did 8 things with this one spell. I don't know how to feel about that. And I'm just like, yes, this is like Sublime Epiphany, like getting caught off a Sublime Epiphany. Like, I know people have gotten caught like that. If you got caught like that, like, let me know in the chat. Like, say something, because like, oh my god, like, I've gotten caught by this card, and I'm just like, this is just like a feel bad, because it's like, not only did you stop my cool thing, but you also got to like sit there and be like, hey, so your cool thing, not only is your cool thing stopped, we're gonna do something else to something else of yours. We're gonna make something else of mine that may be the most oppressive thing on there, and we're also gonna draw a card. And then you're like, oh, well, guess what? I also got my Riku's ability, so we're gonna do like all 3 of his things too. Sorry, sir. I mean, you know, how many options? Too many options. Oh my goodness! Like, this deck it's a fun deck, and it was just built on a whim, just being like, hey, look, this Riku is really cool, especially if you go out and like get like some of the even modal spells that I don't have in here. Like, I don't think any of like the rare, like, what's that, the counter spell, make a copy, the one from Thunder Junction that's a spree spell. Like, I don't even have that in here, or the big good green one, or I don't even think I have the good red one in here. Like, there was like a bunch of good little spree spells that's like modal spells that makes Riku go even better. There's other modal spells that Riku, Cryptic Command, I'm still looking at you. I mean, even though it's 2 blue and intruitive, but like, modal spells is fun. It's a fun little just different. It hits different. It's not the best spell in the. This is not the best deck in the world. If you're looking for like something to just dominate tables with, this is not that deck. But this deck will like shock some people out of nowhere and just be like, oh wow, you're doing like a lot for a little, And I don't think it's as impressive as like it could be. It could be way more impressive. I have cards that I could have put in here, because I also somewhere have a Calamex, the Stormsire. Dang it, I cannot think of that. 1,000 Year Storm. Yeah, we need to change up that Storm of Starman for 1,000 Year Storm, because, like, yo, like, that card slaps. That card slaps. I actually think neither one of them are like necessary for this deck, but like 1,000 Year Storm, like, yo, hey, just thinking about like just storming off with some stuff. I mean, I know I don't get options for the copies, but I mean, it's a fun thing to do, and we're just trying to have fun, because the world's already hard enough. We just once again, like I always say, it really is all about the gathering. So, like, I mean, if there's something you can leave with any and every one of my videos with this, just remember that it really is all about the gathering. Like, that's what this whole game is about. You know, I've had opponents that became good friends. I've had just a lot of good memories with this game, and I know that I'm making a lot more every week. Cannot wait for Monday's video. Monday's video is going to be pretty hot and pretty interesting with just views from my people, because I fortunately I got a lot of people, and this is just one little sect of my people that, like, I happen to just coerce them into being like, hey, look, you mind if I do this video and get y'all involved and just do something and talk about this? Because there's a lot of stuff going on, especially in Commander, which is the most social format there is currently in Magic the Gathering. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. It's a social format. But, anyways, like I said, I hope y'all like, comment, subscribe. If y'all got something to say, please say something. Please be amicable about it, because, like, we're all going through stuff outside of here, outside of this game, outside of wherever you, whatever. And I hope that whatever's going on, I hope that it goes well for you. I hope that you're good. And I hope that you're blessed. It's your boy Big Willie, aka the Pac Mac, as always, man. It's all about the gathering. Holla at your boy. Peace.